Ready for some sci-fi science?
Always.
We're going deep into the review of scientific instruments for this one.
Ooh, right from the lab notebooks.
This is about liquid marbles
Tiny liquid droplets,
wrapped up like
tiny little capsules.
we're talking about a new way to make them using...
Electricity.
Yeah, you heard that right.
It's incredible. They have so much potential.
Okay, so what is a liquid marble?
It's a tiny drop of liquid.
Like a miniature water
Yeah.
balloon.
Yeah, exactly.
But instead of rubber, it's coated
A
with...
super fine powder.
Okay, but making them consistently has been a real...
Challenge for scientists.
Especially the tiny ones, right?
Exactly, especially when they're super tiny.
So how did they do it before?
Well, they would literally roll the droplet around
Oh, wow.
in a bed of powder.
That sounds really...
It was super messy and inconsistent.
And if you're dealing with sensitive materials, like in nanotech,
Contamination is a huge issue.
yeah, one speck of dust and boom, the whole thing is ruined. So back to this new method. How does electricity even make liquid marbles?
So it's called electrohydrodynamic pulling.
Okay.
They use an electric field to pull a droplet of liquid.
Like a tiny tractor beam.
Yeah, kind of like that. And then they gently place it onto the powder bed.
So this is way more precise than the old way.
Absolutely.
How precise are we talking?
They were able to control the size of the droplets based on the voltage.
Oh, wow. So they could just choose how big they want it?
Exactly. They can make the exact volume they need.
That's pretty important for things like...
Yeah, for precise dosing of medications.
Or even...
For creating consistent microreactions.
So this discovery led them to building...
Whole automated system.
Hold on. A machine that makes liquid marbles.
Yes.
That's incredible. Tell me more about this thing.
Well, it's like a miniature factory for liquid marbles.
Right.
It has a microcontroller brain,
Really?
a high voltage module for that electric pull,
Mm-hmm.
and even a powder bed that vibrates.
A vibrating powder bed. What's
Yeah.
that for?
It coats the droplet perfectly.
Oh, wow. And I'm guessing this machine is...
Insanely precise.
Okay, but what are they using to actually build this thing?
Well, they use a motorized syringe to dispense the liquid,
Okay.
PTFE powder for the super hydrophobic coating,
Mm-hmm.
and a camera to monitor everything and make sure it's accurate.
So we're talking like tiny, tiny marbles being made with like...
Hardly any errors.
So this is obviously way more than just a cool science experiment, right?
Absolutely not.
What can we actually do with these liquid marbles?
The applications are incredibly diverse.
Okay, I'm all ears.
Well, let's start with medicine.
Okay.
Imagine tiny capsules carrying medicine directly to where it's needed in the body.
Directly to like individual cell?
Yeah, possibly even individual cells.
Wow, that could revolutionize.
It could revolutionize how we treat diseases.
Yeah. And minimize...
Minimize side effects and maximize effectiveness.
So it's like a microscopic smart bomb for medicine.
Exactly.
Okay, that's pretty amazing. What else?
Well, think about sensitive chemical reaction. Instead of test tubes and petri dishes,
Liquid marbles could be...
miniature lab vessels.
Right.
Creating contamination-free environments for super precise experiments.
That's a game changer. You could...
You could run hundreds of tests at once.
And using...
Yeah, using tiny amounts of potentially expensive materials.
Wow, so we've got super precise drug delivery and cutting-edge research. What else can these things do?
Well, they also have massive potential in digital microfluidics.
Which is...
It's all about manipulating tiny volumes of liquid for research and diagnostics.
I see.
Imagine lab-on-a-chip technology that can analyze a single drop of blood
Oh, wow.
for hundreds of diseases. Or create entirely new materials by precisely controlling reactions at the nanoscale.
This isn't just futuristic tech. It's got real-world implications now.
Absolutely.
This is incredible. But let's be real. Every new technology has its limitations. What are some of the challenges with this first-generation liquid marble machine?
You're right, there are always areas for improvement.
Okay, so what were some of the issues they ran into?
Well, this machine had an error rate of about 8.6% in terms of the volume of the liquid marbles produced.
So almost 99% accuracy.
Yeah, not bad for a first try, but
But definitely room for improvement.
yeah, not perfect either.
99%. That's still pretty impressive.
It is for a first attempt.
So what's next for these researchers?
Well, they're already working on some future improvements.
Like what kind of improvements?
One thing is they want to develop a better theoretical model.
To improve the accuracy.
Yeah, to improve the accuracy and maybe even make smaller liquid marbles.
How much smaller?
Nano or even picoliter sized.
Wow, and what could you even do with something that small?
Well, at that scale, you're talking about manipulating individual molecules.
Really?
Yeah, you could build entirely new materials. You could
Wow.
create sensors so sensitive they could detect a single virus particle.
That's incredible. What else are they working on?
They're also thinking about designing a system with multiple powder beds.
Multiple.
Yeah, to increase the throughput.
So like an assembly line for liquid marbles.
Exactly, churning out millions of these tiny capsules.
All perfectly uniform.
Yes, and each one customized for its specific purpose.
Okay, so they're not just trying to make smaller marbles, they're trying to make better marbles, and a lot of them. What about different kinds of coatings? Are they stuck with just PTFE powder?
No, they're exploring all sorts of different hydrophobic powders and coatings.
So each powder changes the liquid marble.
Yeah, each powder can give the liquid marble unique properties,
What kind of properties are we talking about?
making them more stable or more durable or even responsive to specific stimuli.
Like heat or light?
Yeah, exactly.
So you could have a liquid marble that only opens when exposed to a certain temperature.
Exactly.
That's crazy. What kind of applications could that have?
Well, think about targeted drug delivery.
Okay.
Imagine a liquid marble carrying a chemotherapy drug that only releases at a tumor.
So it minimizes damage to healthy cells.
Exactly.
That's amazing. What else?
Or a fertilizer encapsulated in a liquid marble that only releases when the soil reaches a specific moisture level.
So less waste and better efficiency.
Exactly.
This is amazing. The applications really are limitless.
They are. It makes you wonder what other creative applications are out there.
Yeah, just waiting to be discovered.
Exactly.
You know, when we first started talking about liquid marbles, I thought they were cool, but I didn't realize how important they could be.
They could have a huge impact on our lives.
And the craziest part is this research was published back in 2019.
I know. Imagine how far this technology could have come since then.
It's pretty amazing how quickly science can evolve.
It is. There's always something new to discover.
You know what else is cool about this tech? It's like a perfect blend of science and engineering.
It is.
You've got the physics of electricity, the chemistry of the coatings, and the engineering of the automated system.
It's amazing how different disciplines can come together to create something truly groundbreaking.
It really is. And it makes you appreciate the researchers behind this,
They're pioneers.
pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
They've opened up a whole new world of possibilities.
Yeah, and it's up to us to explore them. But before we get too carried away, let's bring it back down to earth for a second. You mentioned earlier that this first-generation machine wasn't perfect.
Right.
Besides the error rate, what other limitations did they encounter?
Well, they need a more robust control system.
Okay.
Right now, they can control the size of the liquid marbles.
Okay.
But they're still working on fine-tuning other parameters,
Like what?
like the thickness of the coating or the speed of production.
So it's like having a fast car with no steering wheel
Kind of. They need to refine those controls.
to make the system better.
Yes, to make it more reliable and versatile.
Makes sense. What else?
Another area for improvement is the range of liquids they can use.
Okay.
Right now, they've mostly focused on water-based solutions.
So just water.
Yeah, but there's a whole world of other liquids out there. Oils and solvents, or even biological fluids.
So imagine liquid marbles filled with everything.
The possibilities are endless.
And that's just the liquid core. You could also change the coatings.
Right, we could have antimicrobial coatings or coatings that respond to light or magnetic fields.
Wow. Okay. My brain is officially on overload.
It's a lot to take in.
We've been talking about all these potential applications, but what about the challenges? What are some of the hurdles that researchers still need to overcome?
Well, one of the biggest challenges is scalability.
Okay.
Right now, most production methods are small scale.
So they work in the lab, but how do you make millions of them?
Exactly. Scaling up production without sacrificing precision is a major engineering challenge.
What about cost? Is it expensive to make these things?
It's always a factor with new technologies.
So are they expensive?
Right now, the materials and equipment are a little pricey.
Okay.
As production becomes more efficient, costs should come down.
So it's like the early days of computers, they were huge and expensive.
And now they're everywhere and affordable.
Exactly. So liquid marbles could follow a similar path. And as the technology gets better, we can expect to see even more investment and innovation.
And that will drive down costs and open up new possibilities.
You know, it's funny, when we started this deep dive, I thought we were just going to be talking about a cool science experiment.
Me too.
But now it feels like we're looking into the future.
It's amazing how liquid marbles could impact our lives.
It really is, from the medicine we take to the food we eat.
It's a testament to the power of scientific curiosity.
It really is, and the human drive to explore and innovate.
Even the smallest things can have a profound impact on our world.
Yeah, it really is mind-blowing.
It shows that innovation can come from anywhere.
Yeah, from the most unexpected places.
Exactly.
You know what else I find interesting about liquid marbles? It's almost like we're rediscovering something ancient.
How so?
Nature has been using encapsulation for millions of years.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Seeds, eggs, cells,
They're all tiny container.
protecting and delivering their contents perfectly,
Yeah, we're just catching up to nature.
and learning from the best.
Definitely.
Speaking of learning, what are some of the challenges in developing this technology?
One of the biggest ones is control.
Oh,
We can make liquid marbles.
yeah.
We're still refining our ability to control their properties.
Like the thickness of the coating.
Exactly. Or the release rate of the contents for responsiveness to stimuli.
So we have the basic recipe, but now we're fine-tuning it.
Yeah, we're experimenting with different ingredients.
That's a good analogy.
Like a chef trying to perfect a dish.
What about the ethical considerations? Are there any risks with this technology?
It's definitely crucial to consider the potential risks.
So what kind of risks are we talking about?
For example, if we're using liquid marbles to deliver drugs,
We need to make sure
they're biocompatible
and that they don't die.
cause any long-term health risks.
And what about,
The environmental impact.
right, we don't want them building up in the ecosystem.
Exactly. It's all about responsible innovation.
So thinking about the long term and being cautious, what about the future of this research? What are scientists still trying to figure out?
Well, scalability is still a big one.
Right, we talked about that.
We can make them in the lab.
But making millions is a whole other challenge
Exactly. We need to scale up production,
without losing.
precision, and consistency.
Yeah, what else?
Another challenge is controlling the release of the contents.
In what way?
Can we create liquid marbles that release their payload on demand?
Like a time release capsule.
Yeah, but triggered by specific things.
Like temperature or light?
Exactly, or even chemical signals.
And what about using liquid marbles to create entirely new materials?
Yeah, that's another exciting area of research.
We've talked about a lot of cool stuff today.
We have.
But I want to leave our listeners with one final thought.
Okay.
This technology is really a testament to human ingenuity.
It is.
We're exploring the world around us.
And manipulating matter on a tiny scale.
It's inspiring to think about.
There's so much left to discover.
It makes you want to go out and explore, ask questions, and never stop learning.
Exactly. Who knows what other breakthroughs are out there?
Well, that about wraps up our deep dive into liquid marbles.
It's been a fascinating journey.
We hope you enjoyed it.
We'll see you next time.
For another deep dive into the world of science and technology.
Bye for now.